Both turned off. Take one. So open meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll if you would, Don.
Martyr.
Here.
Mazer.
Here.
Riley.
Here.
Schneider.
Here.
Sofa.
Here.
Stoops.
Here.
Wilson.
Here.
Non-agenda items from the sidelines, I have none.
Yep.
I think
Oh. I didn't see the
Or were you going to put her on communications?
Do you want me to go up here?
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
don't know what you're
I have no idea who you are. I don't
Okay,
know
well
who you
that's
are.
why I am here. So I'm here to introduce myself. My name is Jamie Green. I currently sit on the Richmond City Council, and I am running for state representative for Jeff Yarrick's term limited seat. So, because that's exactly why I'm here. I understand the importance of the Lansing with our local legislatures, with our local, actually, municipalities. So that's why I'm here, is to introduce myself to the Memphis City Council and to the residents of Memphis. And I'll stay after if you guys would like to talk to me. And I look forward to seeing you here at this meeting today.
What was your name again?
Jamie Green.
Jamie Green. Okay.
Yep, like the color with an E.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. City administration part.
I don't know, I see you got the library in here, does that include that Duckworth?
It's going to be on the agenda.
Okay, including our water tower?
Yes, it's on.
That's on the agenda.
Well, I'm going to mention it when it comes around to me.
I think we're good, other
So
than
welcome.
batting your hatches down for a couple of days.
Any of our chiefs here? Nobody from Parks and Rec, so we'll move on. Adoption or amendment of the agenda.
I think there were two changes, wasn't there? One on there.
Amendments, yeah.
Yeah.
On your amendment?
Yeah, it's,
Go
want me to do
ahead.
it?
No, yes.
Okay, under communications, it's request for the truckers, and number 2 is the Gypsy Moth. Okay, no further changes, I make a motion to adopt the agenda as amended.
Support. Well, are we going to take something, were we going to take that new business number 3 off?
We'll,
Or we're just
we
going to table
can't,
that?
we
when it comes
can't.
I'm gonna table it.
But we were going to table it anyway, but we'll just table it when it comes around.
around? Okay. And then there, yeah, that was it.
Good.
Mazer.
Yes.
Riley.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yeah.
Sofa.
Yes.
Stoops.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Martyr.
Yes. Approval of the regular meeting minutes of January 4th, 2022. If we don't have any changes or corrections, I'll take a motion.
There's no questions or corrections, I'll make a motion to adopt.
Support.
Riley.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Sofa.
Yes.
Stoops.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Martyr.
Yes.
Mazer.
Yes.
Okay, presentation and approval of the January disbursements report of $148,048.32 and electric wire transfers of $9,963.63. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the disbursement report of 148,048.32 and electronic wire transfers of 9963.63.
Support.
Schneider.
Yes.
Sofa.
Yes.
Stoops.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Martyr.
Yes.
Mazer.
Yes.
Riley.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Communications from Dean Spencer.
I'll make a motion to place on file.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Support.
Sofa.
Yes.
Stoops.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Martyr.
Yes.
Mazer.
Yes.
Riley.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Okay, we have a request from Dean Spencer to put a banner. It says down Main Street, and I'm thinking he might think it could be across Main Street. He's not here to speak to us tonight. He wants to put a banner up that says, "Thank you, truckers." I think this is something we need to look into a little more and exactly what he's looking at doing, because he's not here to speak to us tonight. If he wants to go across Main Street, I think the only place we'd be able to do that is down by the Catholic Church. So
Do you have a phone number?
No, he's
Oh,
trying to
like
get the
this
health
he-
department.
Does he have a banner made up already or something?
He's gonna get one if you's okayed it, but if he puts it down by the church, I told him that Main Street's not our road anyhow. So I don't know who
And
he,
Bart would have
you know what I
to put
mean?
it
If he-
That falls under our annual permit,
Oh, okay.
banners and such,
So you could do
You
it.
so
have to
we
get
would qualify
permission,
for it. I
right?
probably,
You have to get permission to do that, right? You or not?
in that case, it's a temporary,
I would say usually.
I don't know how long you intend to leave it up for.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
I said, did you wanna vote yes or no? And that way I can tell him the only place that really can go is there.
If our street administrator approves it, kind of a thing?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to allow the banner as long as it's approved by our street administrator.
Support.
Stoops?
Yes.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Martyr?
Yes.
Mazer?
Yes.
Riley?
Yes.
Schneider?
Yes.
Sofa?
Yes.
So next up, we have Terry Gibb from Macomb County. Talk to us about the gypsy moths. Okay, Terry? Yep.
Hello, everyone. As you mentioned, I'm Terry Gibb. I'm a senior extension educator for MSU Extension. And I've been administering the gypsy moth. It's now Lymantria dispar. For those of you who are familiar with gypsy moth, there was some concern about the word gypsy, so it is now Lymantria dispar. So I'll probably be referring to it as LD instead of GM. But anyways, I've been administering for the county the gypsy moth program since 1992. And on the positive side, we only have hot spots in Macomb County. It's not like up in the northern communities or northern counties where they spray tens of thousands of acres. We spray hot spots. And but on the other hand, we have hot spots almost every year. So we have to deal with it. LD is a foreign pest. It's got few native predators that to help keep populations in check. It was first found in Michigan in 1954. And the outbreak started in the Lower Peninsula. They had a really, really major program to prevent it from getting into the UP, obviously, because they've got a lot of forest up there, and would have been very detrimental to their economy. The caterpillars feed on tree leaves. And a lot of you know, oh yeah, they're oak and birds. Those are their favorites. Those are like the caviar, but they will feed on 500 different tree species. So they're not exactly selective. And in the case of, they will eventually get to your evergreens, your pines, and if it defoliates pines, they're dead. That's it. They don't release. This program, I said, has been going on since 1992, and there are 4 goals of the program. One is to reduce infestation to tolerable levels. The second is to preserve tree foliage and reduce tree stress. Prevent indiscriminate use of chemicals, because we found if there's not a program, people will spray whatever, whenever, however. And so we need to try to avoid that, because if you think about it, you've got resident A's spraying X, you've got resident Y right next door spraying Z, and somebody else spraying K. Individually, those might be fine, but those chemicals are not going to stay just on their property. They're going to commingle, and that's when you can really get into trouble. So, a couple things about gypsy moth. Gypsy moth caterpillars do not cause premature leaf drop, browning, or curling of leaves. They do not make a web or tents in the trees. That's eastern tent caterpillar. In addition to damage to the trees, gypsy moth caterpillars can be a nuisance if populations are high enough. Caterpillars and their frass, feces, can drop down from the trees onto sidewalks, driveways, yards, patio furniture, vehicles, all kinds of things. And the hairs, I don't know if you've ever seen a gypsy moth, but they're very, very ugly caterpillar. And they have these long hairs. And some people, when they come in contact with the hairs, can have severe allergic reactions to them. So, that's from the human side, just we had a short summer in Michigan anyway. And the fact that for like 6 or 8 weeks, a lot of people, if they're heavily infested, cannot go outside their doors without having caterpillars fall on them, literally. So that's one thing. But on the other hand, you've got tree defoliation by the caterpillars is another big issue and can have a real significant negative impact on tree health. If trees are defoliated more than 40%, they become stressed. And what they will do is they will, if they're a deciduous tree, they will relief. And you'll think everything is fine. But actually it's not. The energy reserves that they need for overwinter, they have used to do that relief. So that weakens a tree, stresses a tree. And then what that allows is for critters and other viruses to then attack the tree. And I will tell you, I say this all the time, gypsy moth does not kill the tree. What it does, it allows other predators and viruses to then attack the tree and kill it. And it may not take a year, but it will happen. So we're looking to try to keep with our spray program it under 40%. Last year in the late summer, we do a defoliation service. We racked the places we've sprayed and we check for the amount of defoliation. And we've been very fortunate. 2 years ago, we were under 10%, and this past year, we were under 15%. So it's well under 40%, so we consider that a success. Now, what do we use in this spray? It's the BT products used to control gypsy moth during outbreaks are made from a strain known as Bacillus thuringiensis variety Kerstaki, or simply BTK. BTK. This product has been used for gypsy moth control in the Northeast United States since 1961 and in Michigan since 1985. It is a naturally occurring bacteria found in the soil. It is also commonly used in farming. Let me ask a question. When you were kids, think back. How many of you were outside ate dirt, either on purpose or by accident? Face planting or whatever, all right? Then you've all ingested BT. That's it. Now, how BT works is that it is applied to the leaves of the trees through an aerial spray, and the reason we like to get it up near the top, because the caterpillars go up and down. They go up in the morning and come down at night. So we need to get it up there where they are feeding. We usually apply it in May because the BT has to be applied at a certain stage of the caterpillar's growth. If it's too small, they're not up in the trees feeding, so it's useless. If they're too big, it doesn't impact them. BT has to be ingested to kill the caterpillar. It's not a contact bacteria. They can't just touch it. They have to actually eat it to do that. So, and at the same time, so this is a very target-specific material that we're using. It will not harm humans, pets, birds, fish, butterflies, plants, beneficial insects, or other moths. I've actually been out in the spray block when it's been sprayed, and I'm fairly normal, so I guess it's okay. We also, in addition to the aerial spray, we also recommend using alternative methods, such as tree banding, egg mass scraping, as long as those are done correctly to help reduce populations. All right. Real briefly, this year, a lot of our calls, and we did get several calls from Memphis residents wanting to know what's going on with their trees along Main Street. It looks like December. Guess what? It was gypsy moth. So what we did is we came out. She was out here probably a month ago, 6 weeks ago. Surveyed the entire area, and basically you have 2 spray blocks as you saw on the map. Basically the whole city of Memphis and then the cemetery. That is actually, those 2 areas total 665.44 acres. And approximately 26 of those are in Macomb County. The other 440 are in St. Clair County. And I mention that for a reason. Normally I don't divide it up, but in your case, since you are 2 counties, St. Clair County is also looking to develop a suppression program, a spray program. And rumor I heard from somebody in the county is that they might put some money toward the spray costs. So we have to keep, we'll keep it separate so that if they do have any help with covering some of the cost of spray, we'll know how much you can go to St. Clair County for. We don't have confirmation. We have 6 communities in Macomb County that have qualifying acres. And I probably should mention, how we determine if you qualify is way back in the early 90s up through mid 2000s. MGuard had a program through the U.S. Forest Service. And so they had all the criteria and protocols and everything. And so we always use that because we get reimbursed for spraying. We continue to use that because it works, it's effective, and the communities all understand it and they know what's going on. And it's, I mean, we could pick numbers out of a hat, but why these work. So just so you know, we don't just say, oh, well, there's 5, let's spray 25 acres, or, you know, there's 50, let's not spray any. It's very, very determined. In fact, you know, 2 plots equals 10 to 25 acres. 8 plots is so many acres. They break it down literally by that. And plots are at least 8 to 13 egg masses within 37-foot radius. So you have to have a couple of them to do that. So we don't have confirmation. This is actually the first presentation I've given on Gypsy Moth this for this year. So you're my first people, and so I don't know what's going to happen in the other 5 communities, what they're going to vote. So when I talked with the applicator that we've used in the past, I'm glad you're all sitting down. He is suggesting that for terms of trying to figure out what you're going to do, figure $168 an acre. So $168 times 665.44 is not quite $118,000. 37.8 more or less would be Macomb, and 73.9 would be St. Clair if you split it up that way. I am hoping, I am working with both St. Clair and Oakland, because they are going to have a program also, to see if we can partner, because obviously economies of scale fall into this, and the more acres we have to spray in adjacent areas, the lower the cost will be. So I am working on that, and we'll hopefully have some good news on that and be able to get this price down. I will tell you, we paid $140 last year. So I wouldn't figure any less than that. That's just unless something comes in on a bid, I don't know. So how this program works is that the county covers all the admin costs. You know, they cover my time, you know, all that kind of good stuff. And then they cover the cost of getting out surveying, working with the applicator, getting all the permits, all that kind of stuff. They take care of all that. And then each community pays their own spray costs. So now, prior to 2009, the county held the contract, and every community that was participating did letters of intent. Then we had 10 years where we didn't spray, and then since 2009, we have worked that each community has had their own contract. I take care of all of that. You know, I get the contracts, make sure everything's right, get them to you, you sign them. You know, I do all that kind of stuff. So you just have to kind of let me know who I work with, and then we'll get it all taken care of. But you'll have your own contract with the applicator, and we'll do the best we can. The county, like I said, the county is working and trying to find the best way to work the program this year to get the best possible price. Another thing that you'll have to do, and again, it just takes like 5 minutes, maybe less, is all of Southeast Michigan is in congested airspace. So we have to have, the applicator has to have a congested air permit from FAA to be able to fly. So each community that participates has got to do, it's like 1 sentence. You know, I, Mr. Martyr, you know, mayor of city of Memphis, agrees to let X aerial spray fly over the city of Memphis for the purpose of spraying Gypsy Moth. Boom, done. Put it on letterhead, sign it, that's it. And because I'm not doing that right away because I don't know who the applicator is going to be. But if you were determined, after it was decided, you just sent that in, decided not to do it, it would just get pulled out of the application to the FAA. It's not a big deal. So Another thing I wanted to tell you is that we have a lot of information, and I didn't think to grab the link, at the Macomb website. We have a Gypsy Moth page, both at the county and actually through the county at Michigan State. A lot of things on there. Feel free to go on, look at it, and anything that you see that you want to download and provide your residents. Maybe it's on tree banding, maybe it's the brochure on what is Gypsy Moth and how, what's the problem with it. Feel free to download any of that stuff, make copies, put it on your social media. That's fine. I also have a 3-page fact sheet that I put together a couple of years ago that I will be happy to provide you, and you can put that on all your social media. And I keep saying social media because a lot of misinformation and disinformation gets put out on social media, as you all know. And back in 2019, after a 10-year hiatus, it caused us a whole lot of grief. We had the Russians bombing. We had planes that were going to crash. We had all kinds of stuff going on out there on spray day. And so we try to get as much information out as we can. I'd be happy to provide that to you as well, and you can use it. The only thing I ask with that is that you can pick and choose what you want out of those 3 pages. Just don't change anything you grab. If you grab this paragraph, use it as it is, because all it takes is one word, and it can change the interpretation of the sentence. And we had that happen, had that actually happen in 2020. One of the communities, their police department was running on saying that we were spraying using trucks. One word, 2 words got changed, and suddenly it wasn't an aerial spray, it was a ground spray from trucks, So it happens. And so, like I said, we'll provide you with anything you need to answer all your questions. I'm a phone call away or an email away. So, any questions?
Just one question. Would you repeat the cost again? I think you said 168 per acre.
168 times 665.44.
Times what now?
Times 665.44. 665.44. It works out to $117,793.92.
117.
Yeah.
792.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
It is a whole lot of money. It is a whole lot of money, and that's why I'm working feverishly trying to get that 168 down as far as I can.
So does one application basically cover us, or is it something we'd have to do?
We have never done a double spray in 1 year, ever. And like I said, we've been doing this since 1992, and only once have we had to. Now it's going to be twice. Once, 2019, we sprayed, and then we ended up respraying a chunk of. It was large spray bracket. It was like 170 some acres. We ended up spraying a chunk of that the next year again, and that was because the caterpillars in one area of the county hatched much earlier than in that area. And so I think what happened is they just got sprayed a little too soon, but there's no way of dividing it out. You can't say, well, we'll spray in Bruce on Tuesday and we won't spray till the following Tuesday in Clinton Township. It just doesn't work that way. It is what it is. So we try to find the best day. And it's not just caterpillar size. It's also weather conditions such as wind speed, temperature, humidity, those kinds of things, because you have to have, again, using MDR protocols, wind direction, speed, all that kind of stuff. Humidity is all got to be within certain ranges. So
how low does an airplane fly like that?
Pardon me?
How low is the airplane?
Right above the trees.
Just above the trees?
Literally, it's like a crop duster. It's right above the tree.
Well, I'm familiar with crop dusting.
Yeah.
A couple of my friends got killed.
I know, and so we do send out to every resident address in spray blocks. We send out a notification. They get a letter sent to them explaining, you're in an area that qualifies for aerial spraying of Gypsy Moth, and this is what we're going to use, this is how it's going to work, this is approximately, because we don't know. Sometimes we have a day or two notice, sometimes we have 4 hours, just depending. We'd be all set to go, and then suddenly a front comes in and it's going to rain in 4 hours, and we like 4 to 6 hours minimum for the stuff to dry after it's been applied, so that changes things. So,
and how long would that last then if we If we did the spray?
But the spray, it'll do it, so, you know, they start feeding, they will be eating it.
I mean, so 5 years later, we'll have to do
No.
it again, or?
No, oh, no. We sprayed an area in Clinton Township, Thousand Oaks, it's over on Meridian, back probably about 20 years ago. We are just spraying it again this year. So it, you know, a lot of times, and like I said, you know, one time we've only had to respray an area, and that was, oh, you sure we're doing another? And the reason we have to respray an area in Bruce is because we did not push the boundary out far enough. We should have gone out further than we did. So we're gonna be respraying a small portion of that, just to make sure. But other than that, we've had very, very good luck in only having to spray once and then not spraying again. We spray different areas because the caterpillars, once they hatch, they have silks, and they create these silks and then they float, and that's how they move. So, you know, you probably won't have the same area, but you could have another area. And one of the things about this is with the spray, then if you can reduce that, because every egg mass, and they're you know, anywhere from little guys to about the size of a quarter or so. If you go out and you look in your yards, you're looking for like a buff tan colored, about this big. Look for them in odd places, like if you've got a tree that's got wrinkly bark, it'll be down inside there, it'll be in the things of the trees, it'll be on the underside of a fence, a wood fence, you know, there on your eaves, it'll be anyplace. They try to look for someplace. And every one of those egg masses, it's really, really small, it might only have 100 or so, but the normal size egg masses can have anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 caterpillars in each egg mass. And when we plot it, one plot has to have a minimum of 8 quarter size. So you've got this one area, 37 feet, okay? And if you've got 8 quarter size, you can assume you're gonna have at least 8,000 caterpillars in that area. So it's, I was in Shelby back in the early 90s, where Shelby was one of their residents was the introduced Gypsy Moth to Macomb County, and I was out there, and literally these things were hanging from her pine trees, walking across her driveway. They were on her windows. They were crawling on her windows. Yeah, that's, so you know, yeah, it's, you know, and I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. But I'm not a bug person, so. So anyway, so any other questions?
Is there any kind of grant monies out there available?
Oh, you know Bob Cannon? He asks that question every year. He's the supervisor of Clinton Township. Right now, no. I thought there was going to be. I thought the U.S. Forest Service was going to have some, but it turns out it was for a specific program and not for this. I talked with John Paul Rea, assistant deputy exec, for the county, and ask him any chance, and at this point, none. There is no chance. If you wanna call him and see if you can nudge him, works for me. But as far as I know, no.
So when do we decide on this?
Doesn't have to be tonight.
I hope not.
Yeah, probably, I would say probably at your next meeting, which would be what, March 1st? Yeah, well, because we will probably spray in, sometime in May. I mean, every time I make a guess, I'm wrong. I thought we'd spray early May last year, we sprayed May 30th.
Yeah,
so.
that's a big chunk.
It is a huge amount of money, and that's why I'm here so early to let you know. The other thing we might be able to do, and I have to talk with the person who did the surveying, is, and we did this with, we were contracted last year to work with Oxford Township over in Oakland County, and they actually had over 900 acres. And so we went back and said, okay, here's what we can do without hurting this and hurting the effectiveness of the spray. We can take that, a lot of horse farms, and take out the horse farms, Oxford Township, take out the horse farms, just keep in the wooded areas. And we managed to get that down to like 500 acres. I can talk with her and see, so that you know, but when she did it, she said they were just pretty much everywhere. So,
Well, why we're questioning it, because, we've really got limited resources
I
here.
know.
We're a mile square, 1,200 people.
Right.
400 houses or so, and that's an awful chunk of money.
It is a terrible amount of money. I fully agree. And like I said, I'm doing everything I can at my end to get the cost down as far as I can. But I don't know. That's the only other thing we could look at. We could look and see if there are some areas. Another thing is there is, like I said, if you can get your residents out, they could be doing some scraping. Not this week, but maybe in a few weeks. They need to get, do the find them and scrape them off. But they have to be very careful. They have to do it exactly right, or they'll still hatch. If you don't get them all, whatever's left will hatch. If you drop any on the ground, the ones on the ground will hatch. So you have to do it, and you have to dispose of them properly. The other thing that they can do is they can ban the trees in May,
That's what I want.
either with sticky bands. So what happens, remember I told you they go up in the morning to feed and they come down at night? So they go over the sticky bands, they get caught on the sticky bands, they can't get up. Or if they're already up there, they can't
They
get
go right
down.
back down to the ground at night?
Yes, they come back
Yeah.
down to hide, yes. The other thing you can do, you can use burlap or some kind of material. And what you do is you take like an 18-inch piece, you fold it in half, and then at the fold, like this, you run a rope around the tree and tie it. And what happens is when they come down, they go over it, but when they go back up, they get caught under the fold. Then you have to take it down and get rid of all of them and dispose of them. And then you put them back on, and you do that for about 4 to 6 weeks.
It's kind of crazy because this year, I've got one small oak on my property, and I spent weeks going out there, and it was one of those, catching them in the low parts of the
Yeah.
branches and actually just picking them off.
Yeah,
And it kept them from tearing the tree apart. But down the road, at Jason's house and other houses straight down the road, you could see how they had torn the trees up. But,
right.
but you have lots of
Seen the whole
information on your website
Yeah.
about identifying, collecting the egg masses and destroying them,
Right.
banding.
Right.
So all that information is available on Macomb County's website.
Yeah, we've got one community over in Oakland that has said, we're not spraying, that's it, we're not spraying. So we're gonna use other methods. So we're gonna work with them to try to do some videos of how to correctly scrape egg masses and what you do with them. And then how to band your tree. So we will have that available if I can get it done, but this is only just taking a whole lot of time. So the best laid plans, but if worst case scenario, we can do a little training for your residents and walk them through it.
When you say banding, what kind of banding, what do they use, like fly paper or?
You could use something like fly paper, that's sticky. The other thing you can use is if your tree is this big around, you take a length of duct tape and put it around sticky side out. And then above that, where it overlap it a little bit, another one and another one and another one. So you've got 4 or 5 bands of duct tape. And, duct tape's good for everything,
The product that you can buy is called Tanglefoot. It's just this super sticky stuff, and you put a band around it, and then you wipe this stuff on the band, and it's super sticky. It catches them. But for the amount, like a tree like the ones that are in front of down my block, you'd probably have to replace that band every couple days. It would fill them up.
Yeah.
That's kind of difficult.
Any other questions for Ms. Gibb?
Can I ask a question?
Sure, go ahead.
So why is the cost $168 per acre? Is that because the product costs that much, or is?
It's a combination of the cost of the product,
Fuel.
plain fuel, insurance, all of that kind of stuff. And obviously, the more acres you have, the less it is. If he's spraying, and last year and the year before, he had 2 planes over here spraying. So
I guess it's just, if the
doubles.
county did a county-wide spray, wouldn't it be more like one day? the entire
Well,
county?
it's a county program, but we only spray where
The hot
it
spots.
qualifies. So, as I said, right now we've got 6 communities and 14 spray blocks. And that's anywhere from 10 acres up to, what's the biggest one? Might be yours. the biggest one, so it
Well,
just,
and yeah, and I look at, what's laid out on the map is the better part of most of Memphis. 665 acres, we're 640 acres at a mile square, so we're stretching a little bit beyond the boundaries, but, it's one of those, if you turn around and narrow it down to the foot, the places where we have to worry about it, where
Right.
we have the trees and pass up some of the open areas and.
very,
Okay. Any other questions?
No.
Ms. Gibb, thank you very much.
you're
for your
welcome, you're welcome.
information.
Thanks for getting me in on such short notice, but I wanted to get here because I knew that, when I saw that, I was glad I was sitting down when I saw that amount. I thought, oh my gosh.
Do you have a card?
Pardon me?
Business card?
I think I do.
Okay.
I think I do. I will look.
This is very interesting.
Hey Kurt, we added to Memphis Days of Caterpillar.
Bounty. All right. Up next, unfinished business. Appoint an alternate for the board of review. To Mayor Martin and council members, please appoint Michelle Brewster as an alternate to the board of review with the term to expire December of 2022. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Okay, Wilson,
Yes.
Murder, Mazer,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops.
Yes.
Okay, up under new business, annual MDOT performance resolution. This is a yearly renew. Can I get a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Murder,
Yes.
Mazer,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
All right, next up, ordinance number 214, outdoor dining in certain areas. Anybody want to go with this, or?
Well, I think we discussed this a little bit, but I think we'll just move this to the planning commission, and they will have to hold a public hearing. So, and I've read it over, and I'm okay with that. I know what this is.
Can I get a motion to forward this to
Yeah,
the?
I'll make a motion for planning commission.
Support.
Mazer,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Murder.
Yes. Up next, ordinance 215.
Mr. Mayor, if you don't mind, I'd like to actually table this for now and go over it one more time before we send it to the planning commission. If you're all right with that?
I'm good with that.
I'll make a motion to table ordinance number 215 till further date.
Support.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Murder,
Yes.
Mazer.
All right, next, paper application approval. Larry, do you want to go with this, or?
Yeah, no, I'll handle it. Fine. Okay. There's three things on here like we want to address. And one is the memorial pavers, and unfortunately I don't have a copy of it here, but you do have, is it hidden here?
I have one.
Yeah,
You
I
have
gave you
one?
it,
Okay.
Larry.
No, it's not in here.
No, you asked for it, it's probably in that back
I look for
there.
this.
I don't have it.
I don't have it.
Oh, the application or the actual paper itself?
The application.
Probably
Oh,
in
here it
there.
is. Here's a copy. You're right, you did, but I left it at home. You're right, you did give it to me. Sorry. Okay, so this is the application that we reviewed, and this is for the memorial pavers at the time. And, I'm sorry, this isn't it.
No.
No. Okay, but anyway, if you
Would
have.
this be it?
Yeah, that's it. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, this is it, and then this is a kind of a sample that we want, and the actual size is 9 by 6 by 2 3/8. And it's the price for the date, the name on the, and the date born, the date died, the cost $35, and who's requested by and their phone number. So it'll give information we need, what we need to do this, and it'll be at the city office for anyone to do this.
So, okay, for the last, like 7 months, I've been doing it,
Oh, have you?
and been doing it totally different, but if you want it all transferred to the
We
city
kind of want it,
office.
we kind of want a uniform, yeah, and so we want to use this,
Could they have them to fill out here and that could be passed on to
do
Robbie?
that.
So you can't, no, I don't want to do it that way.
Oh.
I would just be running.
Why can't we just give it Robbie's number?
You
Is
can't
she-
have firemen on there anymore, or?
Well, we kind of were limited.
I mean, it was the same size,
Yeah.
all the bricks are the same.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Well, we were kind of trying to have it kind of more uniform now, so that, because everybody could be applying for it, and so that we kind of want to make it more uniform.
Everybody has kind of applied for it.
Yeah.
Anybody can apply
Oh,
for it.
anybody can apply for it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no restriction.
There's
It's
no
just,
restrictions
it's just
on
keeping
that.
the pavers uniform,
Yeah.
in size and shape. And
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they are.
We're
Well,
taking,
they have to get the
They're-
taking
papers
the
from us.
papers that are.
I think he
bigger.
means the font and the size of the letters
Yeah,
more than the bricks themselves.
yeah. So, well, if you want to change it, that's fine.
Yeah, no, I'll bring all this stuff up here, because I'm gonna have, I'll take care of it.
Okay, all right. So.
Okay,
if we
so
have a-
under 4, can I get a motion to approve the paver application?
I'll make that motion that we approve the paper application.
Thank you.
Okay, up next, number 5,
Wait.
library approval. Oh, I'm sorry.
Support.
Oh, sorry.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Murder,
Yes.
Mazer,
No,
Riley.
Yes.
Okay, I got Schneider, Sofa, Stoops, Wilson, Murder, Riley, yes, Mazer, no, so motion carried.
The next one.
Yeah, library improvements.
Okay, I apologize, I left that at home, and we had, Bart, you remember, it was,
No?
okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you got one here. Yeah, the only thing is, the quote we got on the library for the heater,
Yeah.
okay, it was just under 2,500, correct?
2487 estimate.
Okay, 2487, and that's to do the heaters. Now.
But there is some in-house for,
In that too, yeah.
Yeah.
You have to do. It also includes 2 bathrooms, right, instead of 3?
it's just 2 bathrooms and a foyer. When I approach him, how much more to take it to the back bathroom, the employee bathroom.
Okay. And the 3rd bathroom in there around the library, correct?
Right.
Yeah. We probably should look at the 3rd one too, but don't you think?
The
The third-
employee bathroom?
Yeah, the one in the library itself. There's
Oh,
no-
yeah, that, we didn't.
But it could be, yeah.
My simple solution, keep the darn door open.
Okay.
The,
Well, okay.
But
And how much was that again? 24, what, 90?
2487.
87, I knew it was just under, okay. So what we want to do, and this is under that $6,300, well, so-called grant that we're getting from St. Clair County. So we want to approve to proceed with the heating tonight on that, so.
What's he gonna do for that?
He's got a deal going on some electric heaters. Oh, shit. We have some existing ductwork that's exposed, but we're proposing to utilize one. There's 2, whatever size they are, 8-inch, whatever they are, currently. And we're gonna use one to go above the drop ceiling within the library and then take it into the bathrooms. The women's would be the first one, then from that one, they jump it over to the men's. And the second trunk, if they don't do it with just the one trunk, the second line, they would run and put in the foyer. I think they can do it all with just one, and I can save that second one and keep it right where it's at.
Yeah, because if you put them both out there, then you won't have the heat
Well,
in
that's
the
my
main part of the
concern.
library. If they take one
Right,
of those, run a
because-
10-inch out.
There's more
Bring it
ducts
down
that
out
aren't
there.
working than are working there, so I would like to just utilize one. Anything I can get out there is more than we've had since we took the building over.
So we'd be utilizing part of that $6,300 that we have on the grant.
That's right, this would be part of that, and using part of that for that 2487. Plus whatever.
Yeah, I may have to box some items in, and before I start cutting holes, I wanted the blessing of council before we got some exploring to do, and one way to do that is to cut up into the ceilings and to be absolutely sure which direction we're going.
So, I'll make a motion to approve the expenditure of $2,487, plus look at the third bathroom.
But I want to do that
Okay.
back one too.
Support.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Martyr,
Yes.
Mazer,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
And.
We may have to close the library down for, we're estimating 8 hours on this. And now that the library's open full time again, we may have to take a day to close it down.
Yeah, because you're not gonna want to pay premium time to have them come in on a
No.
Sunday and do it, so.
No.
Okay.
And the third one, Mr. Mayor, is the elevator, and we want to proceed with that as well. We budgeted $25,000 for that. We already have 2 quotes on it, just around between 19 and 20,000. But we'll have to rebid it, and we'll try to get another quote on that, so we want to proceed with that as well.
So you want to proceed with getting another quote or two?
I'll proceed, I'll try to get another quote, plus have the 2 that bid on it, have them rebid it, because that was last year. So, we'll proceed with it. And I'll make that motion.
What's the motion?
A motion to approve with the elevator, handicap elevator over the library.
Okay, I thought you were getting another bid.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna try to get another bid.
It's to proceed with.
Oh, just to proceed.
Oh, yeah.
To proceed, get more estimates, and looking forward to going into,
And I'll
install the
bring that
elevator.
back to you, I'll bring the bids back to you when I get.
All right, I didn't know if you were voting then, like, do.
No, I'm not, I just
Not
bid
yet.
to proceed on that, okay?
Support.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Martyr,
Yes.
Mazer,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa.
Yes.
Okay, next up, the city hall, changing our parking around. Larry's been working with Bart on this?
No, that is the side that's out in front, and we're gonna change that into a parking lot. This was proposed by Erie back, I think, a year ago. We currently have, it's a 44 by 44, and we have 2 quotes on it, and one was 6,900 and one was 4,925. However, since that was quoted back some time ago, we'll have them rebid that, and I guess Mark can handle that. Right?
Just
Okay.
get it re-quoted and have a look at it again. and-
I don't know who the second one, I know the
Oh,
one.
you had Morgan Excavating and Tom.
Oh,
Williams.
okay.
So this way we'll have the site, they'll shoot some grades and make sure that we put it in right, and
Yeah,
that way, if we start off with gravel, we'll be pretty well prepped to move down the road and get it blacktopped off, and,
right.
Is that the plan? To pave it?
yes.
Okay.
Just gravel it.
This is, for right now, we're gonna gravel it, but down the road, we're gonna turn around, and, like I said, make sure we put the basin right, and then we can turn around and blacktop it when the time permits.
And drainage and such, and that
Yeah.
before we do asphalt work.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to have the drainage properly done, and they have to have some engineering survey done.
So can I get a motion to have our DPW move forward on rearranging the parking outside the city hall here?
Hold on, do we need to get with Doghouse Land or what? Does it create before us for the easement or
Not-
before we start to?
Well, it'd be nice to have an easement because from what I remember, we're gonna be directing traffic right out onto somebody else's property.
Oh, yeah, because we'll be going up.
Because we're gonna be eliminating 2 to 3 parking spots to do that.
Is that the dog, or Sage Creek?
Yeah, Sage Creek.
Sage Creek.
No, it's only Sage Creek easement we need. We own, that's the only one we need. so
Well,
Sage
I'd
Creek.
still like to have approval to move forward on
It does,
this. You know, so we can look at, you know, shooting the grade and
But we
checking
can,
it out.
we can tear it up and put gravel down, but, I mean, it still doesn't mean we're
It's,
gonna
yeah,
drive through there.
but to create an easement of a pass-through,
Yeah,
you know, so we'll have to.
we can use the extra city parking period, but.
Right.
I'll make a motion to proceed with the parking with gravel.
Support.
I got a question. The alleyway up against the pharmacy the material is so high. Now there's a little lake that's coming over top of the sidewalk, stepping into the pharmacy. It's only about that wide of a little river that runs across there because of the alleyway being so high in material. When this grade is shot, are they lower that to where the runoff can go?
This is not that piece of property.
Oh, okay, so
What we're talking about is right here
Gotcha.
next to the city office.
The grass is.
Yeah,
all right, I thought it was,
Technically, we don't own that alley, so
That alley is owned by the pharmacy.
we maintain it.
It's a drive that is owned by the pharmacy.
all right, thank you.
The city doesn't own any of the property back behind here. We're talking about the little green spot right here.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Wilson,
yes.
Murder,
Yes.
Mazer,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops.
Yes.
All right, next up, invoice from R&R Truck Repair. Looks like some springs and some, a lot of stuff underneath the truck. So we have an invoice from R&R Fire Truck Repair for $1,558.07. Can I get a motion to pay the bill?
Yeah, I talked to Doug on this, yeah, so I'll make a motion to approve the expenditure of $2,040 for sure.
That's the total for both.
Well, this is what we can, for the first invoice.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
wait a minute, that's the one.
One's
No,
1588.
it's one, I got the figure wrong, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got the figure wrong. It's 155807 for R&R fire truck.
Anybody?
Support?
Okay, Murder,
Yes.
Mazer,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
All right, again, another invoice from R&R Truck Repair for $1,433.44. This is for a tank pump valve on one of the trucks.
Yeah, I talked to Doug on this because this is dated November 29th. And he wondered why it was so old. He said, well, we just got that invoice in even though it was done back in November. So I thought it's kind of old, but so I guess so it's okay. But
27-year-old truck.
yeah, it's a 20, you're right. 95, that's an old truck. Yeah.
Any motion to pay the bill, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the expenditure of $1432.44.
Support?
Mazer,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Murder.
Yes.
You want to talk about this tonight?
Well,
From the mayor?
just briefly.
Okay.
Yeah, just briefly.
That's okay. From the mayor, I I really don't have anything. Here we are diving into another year, and let's hope it's a good one. Larry, Larry and Eric?
I have nothing, sir.
Larry?
Yeah, two things. The prospective grants we applied for from Fleece Vanderbrink. I made a memo up there and also a spreadsheet of some of the expenditures that we need maybe over time. So they put practically everything on there, right, Bart? They, on all of that, they included almost everything on that spreadsheet. And hopefully, fine for the grant. The water systems improvement was 1,000,008, and the wastewater systems improvement was $4,004,000. But I don't think that we'll come close to getting that. But if we get anything, it'll be cut severely. But then we'll prioritize what we want if we get it. So it's just
Might be
kind of.
surprises.
But it's and that's the same company that talked to Eric when he was mayor about doing the lagoon. So that was, what, 3 years ago, was it, Eric? Something like
I
that?
don't know, something like that.
Yeah, so anyway, we had a discussion with him a month ago, or a few weeks ago on that. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully something might happen, but we don't know. So.
Can I just add something to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's a 90-10 grant, which is great, and also we can actually pay part of our 10% through our DPW actually doing some of the
Some of the
work.
work, right.
And we don't have to commit to the whole project if we decide that we don't want to spend 10% of $4.4 million this year for next year, that we can pull stuff back.
Right.
And we're not committed to anything other than, all we've done is we've filled out an application to let them know that we are looking into it more than anything.
So let's see what happens. So we don't apply, we don't get anything, and we may get
Right.
something.
You don't look for it,
Yeah.
you don't find it.
And the other thing is the painting of the water tower. I put a memo in there too, so that's going out to bid, and we'll be opening the bids on Tuesday, February the 22nd at 2 p.m. And as you know, we bid that last year, I guess it was in the fall of last
August,
year. or
I
something
think,
like-
somewhere in there.
Yeah, but the bids came in about 2 or 3 times higher than what our expected cost. So we're hoping we get a little better luck this time. So we'll see what happens later in the month. So.
And the tower will be down, we're looking at probably 30 days.
Yeah,
That means our fire department's gonna have to draw from the river, pond, or no hydrants to be used.
Yeah, because you're gonna be solely supplying with your wells.
Yeah.
So you're gonna
We're
be
gonna
testing
be
your
using
VFDs and your pumps.
Exactly. I'm gonna have pressure relief valves at south end, north end of town. Probably be getting a lot of calls that, hey, you got hydrant running.
Yeah. I think they allowed for 6, or I think about 6 weeks, but they kind of think it'll be done in 30 days.
Their whole, and weather permitting.
I think interior of the tower, which is.
It's a wet interior.
The wet
is what's
interior,
being
yeah,
done.
it's a little more complicated.
Which hasn't been done since 1988.
Yeah. And that's all I have.
All right. Ken?
Nothing, sir.
Robbie?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Jason?
I actually just have some questions for him. You have a banner already made up?
I have my personal banner for my property right on M19, you'll see it.
So what are you talking about doing? Because the only place that we discussed it, the only place that we can do as far as like that was like a good sized banner that went across the street down by the church.
Actually,
It'd go across the road.
oh, that's
You don't have anything like that?
not yet.
Okay. That's what we thought you were going for, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Well, you'd have to buy it, is what I mean. You'd have to
Yeah.
pay for it, so if you do.
But now, you guys can cover the cost of getting it up there?
Well, Bart, that's that, right?
We have no, never paid to have anything like that done. All I can say, if you could get maybe our local tree person to volunteer to the boom truck.
Who does it for the church when they used to do their festival?
I
They just hire somebody. to
I
do
think
it.
Phillips Lighting,
Who did it?
Phillips Lighting,
Oh, okay.
I think that's who did it last year anyways. I think, that's who I saw out there.
I mean, maybe
It's
get
been
Mike
so
to do
long,
it or
I've seen
something.
him put it up,
What I would like to ask you guys is come up with the verbiage that would be approved by the board. That way, if it's gonna represent the town, then I want the town being able to,
I think we should have a little control over it.
what's that?
We should have some control over what verbiage
Yes.
is on it.
Wait, get them going. When do you want to do this by?
Sooner the better, you know, because it's heading our way, so. And I'd
So-
just like to put Memphis on the map of probably being the first one in Michigan to say, hey, we support the truckers.
I mean, are you going with just thank you truckers? Something
I'm
as simple as
open,
that.
I'm open.
Yeah, something to look at.
Make a motion.
For what?
Thank you, truckers.
Okay, I'd make a
We
motion.
already did, it's already in
But-
Bart's hands.
Yeah, we
It's
already,
not
we
their
already-
verbiage though.
the verbiage. So this is what it's gonna say.
That's what he asked for.
Yeah, so
For us to approve what it says.
we're gonna approve
Is this
what
say
what
thank
the
you,
sign
truckers?
says.
I don't have a problem with that, so I.
So I make a
Simple.
motion that
Yeah.
we keep the verbiage to thank you truckers.
Okay. Any problem with having maybe a waving flag with the word, you know, something that's patriotic?
Can you
Like
make
the
up,
flag.
can't you
What's
make
that?
up
Like the
a,
flag. Yeah.
can you make up a picture?
Pardon?
Can you make up a picture or something to look at?
Oh, my wife will, I'm sure we'll find something, or that, or I have something made up, just, you guys, give them the opportunity, is just, I can't believe you guys are going this far, but thank you. Just,
You're welcome.
Do we need to vote on that verbiage? You motioned it,
I made the
right?
motion.
Support.
Okay,
I do want to point out, that's a state highway, and we're allowed to do that under a permit that I file for every year for banners and such. So, it's
Sometimes
really,
it gets-
It's a limited time
the
only.
state might restrict us, some county worker might drive through and say, I don't like that. Was, you know, hopefully that doesn't happen.
all right, if by chance that did happen, where
We have to
you,
find, we have to find
I
another
just
road,
didn't
drop it or drop
well,
that.
where you have the yellow jacket, sign, little signs, are
Yeah.
those allowed? Do you guys have control of those?
Yes.
Okay,
But-
can we have that as a fallback?
Yeah, those flags that are on there, the posts, we had special permit to install all that, the electrical, back in '95.
For a fallback, if they say that's gotta come down, can we, would you guys consider allowing the little ones to go up?
Yeah, I actually have measurements on that too, because we're looking at something else on
For
another
the vets.
Veterans.
Veterans, yeah.
Yeah.
we need to vote on this. Riley,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Sofa,
Yes.
Stokes,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Murder,
Yes.
Mazer.
Yes.
Are we adjourned now?
Motion to adjourn.